See, the thing about relationships is relationships are difficult. They don't have to be, but most of the time they are. So here's some advice that I have for young couples, people that are married, even though I've yet to be married. I think I can put my ones and twos in on this subject. These these pieces of advice are predicated on all of my failed relationships. And so, I spoke about Charlie Munger's inversion thinking a while back in my previous video. And for those of you that don't know, inversion thinking is identifying what not to do so that you can do what is required. So, for example, instead of asking, how can I build my marriage and be a better partner, you'll ask, what can I do to screw up my marriage and be a terrible partner? That's inversion thinking. And so you'll list out all the things that a terrible partner does, how to screw up your marriage, and you just do the opposite. So to be a terrible partner and screw up your relationship, don't communicate. Get angry all the time. Don't be patient. And you just flip it. Be patient. Don't get angry all the time, right? And so this is kind of predicated on inversion thinking because I've had a plethora of failed relationships and it's always been my fault. And so what I hope to do in this video is I hope to give any man guidance, any young men guidance on how to properly be there for your partner. And ladies, I hope that I can open your eyes and give you an insight into a man's brain. And perhaps, gentlemen, I can give you an insight on a woman's brain. I know I'm not a woman, and so for all my ladies in here, if you don't like a man speaking on woman things, please leave now. So relationships are difficult. We make them difficult mainly because we're different people. I'm different than my woman, and she is different than me. But more than that, not just difference in the sense of how we grew up, our family structure, what we were exposed to. More than that, the difference is the essence of who we are. You see, us as men, we're kind of hard-headed. Our entire essence is predicated on pride, ego. We always want to do. And we're obsessed with physical things. We like things that are tangible. The ladies, the essence of who they are is predicated on emotions, their heart, their divinity. They enjoy things that are intangible, right? And so fellas, we like the cars, the clothes, the people, the houses, the success. Ladies don't give a damn. They like the connection, the emotion, the heart. And that's what makes us clash sometimes. It's not necessarily that we came up in a different environment or we grew up differently. It's that the essence of who we are as men and women, male and female, it's a contrast. But if you can integrate the two coherently, it's a beautiful thing, right? Similar to the Taoist yin and yang. Gentlemen, if you're able to adopt a fragment of the divine feminine, and ladies, if you're able to adopt a fragment of the structured masculine, the two of you will come together and create this harmonious duality that girdles the freaking world, man. Like, you guys will be unstoppable. Especially when you have a child. Now you introduce a third subject. Now you have a freaking trinity, a trilogy. It's a beautiful thing. And so let's start with a story of all my failed relationships, and then we'll move forward. I've been in technically 3 relationships my entire life. Technically, one is high school, which I don't really count because you're so young and you don't even know what the heck anything is. So I don't count that one. And so if we discard that one, that means I've been in 2 relationships my whole life. I've been with one woman, and both relationships were anywhere from a year to about a year and a half. The first relationship I was in, my life was going pretty good. I had some money, and things like that didn't really get in the way. The problem with my first relationship, I believe I was 21, turning 22. That's what I think. The problem with my first relationship is I desired a little bit too much. And that was actually the problem. I desired too much. And what I'm talking about, this woman gave me everything. Like, oh my gosh. Like, when I say everything, I mean everything. Like, I'd tell her, hey, I'm getting a haircut. And she knew I had money. Like, she knew I had money at the time. And she would just send me money for my haircut. When we go out to eat, she's always rushing to the bill. I woke up with her beauty right next to me, you know? Even when it came to being intimate, like, she was so submissive. Like, all my relationships, the ladies I've been with have been completely submissive to me, like, at all times. I've never been with a prideful, aggressive, and dominant woman, because that is very weird. It's strange. And I'll get into that in just a second. I know a lot of ladies are like, oh, you can't handle a little grown, aggressive, dominant woman that got her own. It makes you insecure. It's not the case. It's just very strange. It's similar to how ladies, if you see a man that's highly, hyper emotional, always crying, like, is weak, like completely weak, always venting and catastrophic, you'll look at that man like, that's kind of weird, right? And so that's besides the point. We'll get to that soon. So the first relationship I was in, she was so submissive in every way. Oh my gosh, she was so caring. And the most beautiful thing about her was she was like this big ball of sunshine. She was like a child. And at the time, that turned me off. I wanted her to be intelligent like I was. How arrogant, right? And I've always had a terrible problem of seeing the potential in the women that I get with. So much so that I forget who they actually are. I forget their heart. Because I don't give a damn. You have so much potential, grow now. And if you don't grow, get the heck away from me. Like, that was my mindset. It was awful. So this woman was completely submissive. She really cared about me, man. Like, anything I wanted, she'd give it to me. Like that, right away. No question. And I mean anything. Like, anything. No, like, seriously, anything. Like, that's how submissive she was. We're talking intimacy. We're talking money. Hey, cook for me, do it. She'll do it. Hey, you're at a family party? When you're done, bring me food and drive over here. Okay, like, complete obedience. You know, amazing. Here's what I would do differently. And mind you, anytime I speak about my relationships, it's always been failed because of me. That's it. I'm the reason why none of my relationships succeeded. And so I hope that my failure can result in your success and your triumph. The thing about her was, she was not the most intelligent. Submissive in all forms, like obedient, kind, good heart, like sometimes really great to be around. Because she was just a big ball of sunshine. Like, her ignorance caused her to be this big ball of sunshine, right? And she was lovely, man. But I was at a point in life where I wanted a woman that was smart. I wanted a woman where I can speak about the freaking depths of the universe with, and speak about how to transform and all that nonsense. And she wasn't able to do that. And it would get me very upset. And so what I would do is I oftentimes pushed my personality onto her in a very aggressive demeanor. Instead of teaching from a compassionate and loving spot, I taught with aggression. I said, you need to think like this. I was literally a narcissist in both relationships. It was awful. And we'll get into that too. I'll cover all these subjects. I was a narcissist in both relationships. What I would do different is I wish I would have just let her be her and not try to change her so quickly and realize that the more she's exposed to me, she'll naturally adapt. And if she wants to change, she will. And if she doesn't want to change, I should have accepted her for who she is. And that was literally the same problem with my next relationship. And we'll get into that too. My first relationship was awful because I was in a decent place at that time. I had money. I had a bunch of women that wanted me. And I was with her. And don't get me wrong, like, she's gorgeous, man. Like, to this day, I find her extremely attractive. Seriously, like, she knew how to dress. She smelled good, you know. She was gorgeous. Plus, she was Latina. You know, it's quite a weakness for me, Latinas, you know. She was Latina, man. Submissive, good looking, big ball of sunshine. And like I said, it was her ignorance that caused her to behave like a big ball of sunshine. Like, oh, nothing's going wrong. Hey, baby. Like, I loved it. But now I love it. Back then, I was like, why are you so dumb? Get smarter. It was awful, man. Gentlemen, when I finish telling you guys these stories, I'll tell you what I think is the proper way to proceed in terms of guiding a woman, nurturing that tender heart of a woman, and protecting a woman. And when I'm done telling you guys these stories, ladies as well, ladies, I want to allow you to perhaps ponder and reflect on what it means to truly be there for a man. So first relationship, right? She was younger than me, about 3 years younger than me. And so she had a lot of growing to do. She had a lot of maturing to do. She knew what it meant to be there for her partner, but she did it, I believe, from the framework of, I'm scared to be alone, so I'm gonna treat you as best as I can, because if I don't, I'm nervous you might leave me, and when you leave me, I will be alone, and I'm not really good at being alone because I've been alone my whole life. And I believe that's why she was so submissive. That's why she was so caring. I don't doubt that she cared about me, but I just believe a lot of the reasons why she did what she did was because she couldn't stand being alone. I mean, this girl had a lot of pain, man. Like, family and just a lot of trauma, right? It was tough on her. Like, tough, man. So I get it. And so that's the first relationship. That's borderline what happened. We have a submissive girl who did everything for me, and a little ignorant to where it made her kind of sound stupid. And she behaved how a young girl would. And at the time, I wish I would have just been like, it's okay. You're young. I can help you mature if you want. Instead of saying, you're young. Look at you. If you're going to be the woman by my side, you need to grow up and get smart. I wish I took the more compassionate route. And when I tell you this next story, we're gonna carry over to my next relationship. This one, basically the same thing. Now, this woman, this next relationship, this woman was God sent. And I hope she doesn't mind me sharing this information. No one knows anyways. You guys don't know who the heck she is. She's been celibate her whole life. Like, that's how devoted she is to God. Like, that was magnificent. I remember we were in the car, right? And she had to let me know. I remember this conversation. She's like, hey, Thompson, I just want to let you know. I don't know what you think you're about to get, but I'm celibate. She probably thought I was going to be like, oh, get out my car. No, I looked at her, I said, I still want to have dinner. I remember exactly what I said. I said, you're celibate. No man's touched you. You get to be mine. How 7 p.m. Right? I said, give me more of that. Look at that purity. Look at that purity, right? Anyways, we'll fast forward, man. This woman was intelligent, man. She was intelligent. She looked good. She smelled good. She was grown. Had a rocking body, man. She went to the gym, for crying out loud. Oof. Still remember how she looked in those leggings. Oh my gosh. And she was super submissive because she believes 100% in the traditional values that a woman brings to the table. She was so submissive. She would tell me all the time, is my husband way or the highway? I said, shut up. I'll kiss you right now, woman. Like, she understood what it meant to behave like a woman. No, seriously. She was gentle. She was kind. She was patient. And the only thing different with this one was I got with her in the beginning when I had money, and some things happened behind the scenes to where I had no money. And it was tough for me. And it's the only excuse I have. If I could find an excuse, it's the only excuse as to why I treated her so poorly. We're talking about this God-sent celibate woman who knows how to dress, who's mature, can get along with anyone I introduce her to. I don't need to hold her hand. She did something so sexy one time. I had 2 of my boys over the house, 2 of them. And we're just, it's just us 3 talking like fellas. We're talking smack and all that. And she said, hey, I'm on my way. Because we had something planned a few hours later that night. And I said, okay. She comes into the house. And usually, I would kind of have to, from my experience, if my woman saw me with my fellas, she'd be very shy, awkward, nervous, and she'll just kind of stand by my side and won't talk to anybody unless she's spoken to. She came in, she's like, hey baby, gave me a kiss. I said, what's up, how you doing? You look nice. Walked into the kitchen in front of my 2 homies and said, what's up guys? How we doing? I looked at her, I said, oh, you're so sexy, woman. Oh. I said, look at you. I don't have to hold your hand. You just started talking to my homies, made a conversation. Oh. So I was actually proud to bring her around some of my people because she was just that grown, that mature. And she was pure, man. Her heart was pure. She was like this ball of sunshine as well. Lovely woman, man. Like, lovely, lovely woman. We would butt heads sometimes, right? Because we talked about God, obviously. That's why we got together. We both believe in God. And I had a very unorthodox approach to comprehending the Bible. And there were times where she wasn't a fan of it. You know, she grew up a Christian, and so she comprehended it as it's stated, which I believe that's how you're supposed to. There's 2 ways. You either try to make sense of it, or you just accept it. She accepted it, and at the time, I didn't know it was acceptance. I was ignorant, always growing, right? At the time, I didn't know it was acceptance. At the time, I was like, oh, you're closed-minded, you're stupid. Open your eyes, it means something else. So silly of me. Anyways, man, this woman was also very submissive. Anything I want, she would give it to me. Obviously, I made a decision to be celibate for her. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought this was the woman I was gonna marry. Like, I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. I could have sworn this was the woman I was gonna marry. Like, this would be the one that I would get on one knee for and give her a freaking Cartier ring. Like, I could have sworn. The reason it didn't work out is when she met me, the first couple months, I had money. And so I take her to these fancy restaurants every weekend, and I let her get all dolled up and pretty and look nice. And about halfway through the relationship, I lost it all. I would be sleeping at the warehouse. No food, no nothing. And I'll never forget this moment. It crushed my pride as a man. And I just didn't know how to control myself. I was so weak. I was still a boy. When I was a boy, I thought like a boy and acted like a boy. But when I became a man, I put all childish things away, and it just so happened I became a man a little too late. I wish I would have became a man earlier for her, because she deserved it, man. So throughout the entire relationship, like I emotionally destroyed her, man, because I was just so narcissistic. I wanted her to do things my way, think like me. Everything you do is for me. I'm the king here. You serve me. Like, that's freaking sad, don't you think? And as you fast forward about halfway through the relationship, I had no money. And I was very aggravated because I couldn't take her on dates. And I just felt like I wasn't doing anything for her, even though we weren't even at a point where she was depending on me. Like, she had her own. She was working. She was going to school. She didn't need me for money. But I was just upset because like I could have sworn I was gonna marry this woman. And I'm like, damn, if I can't even take her on a date now, what the heck's gonna happen if I propose one day? And we have kids, right? I was very upset. And the reason I was very upset is because my father, if you guys know my story a little bit, I always talk about how my father didn't really do too much for us. And my mother had to bear the burden of being both a man and a woman, father and a mother. And it's always stuck with me. And I just hate when I feel inadequate, like I'm a burden, like I can't do anything. It's very annoying. And that was part of my trauma that manifested itself in the relationship, where when I was broke, I felt worthless and it turned into anger. Like I was frustrated. I was so angry. I was in so much pain and I was so angry at myself. Like I'm so worthless. Like look at me, I'm nothing. And I took all that out on her. Like all of it, to where when she said something, I would just flip it completely and say, "Look, screw you. It's your fault. Everything's your fault." Like it was so bad, man. She didn't deserve that. One day, I'm at the warehouse. I told you guys this story before. I was sleeping at the warehouse for a long time. I didn't have money for gas, so I couldn't even drive home. I had a tote box full of clothes that I brought as much as I could, and those clothes would last me a few weeks until I could find a way to get some money to drive home, do laundry, rinse and repeat, right? But I would not bathe for about 2, 3 days sometimes, and I would go to the gym that wasn't too far from the warehouse. It was a lot closer, and so I could manage that, right? So I drove to the gym, showered, came back to the warehouse, tried to figure something out, and fell asleep on the couch. Over and over and over, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And there was one time where I was just hopeless. I was like, I guess this is me. I'm a broke, sorry, pitiful excuse for a man. And all I got is nothing. I have nothing to show for it. I remember one time she's getting off work. And she wants to come see me. She's like, hey, can I come to the warehouse and see you? And I wanted to say no, because I just didn't want her to see me like that. But I said, sure. And she said, are you hungry? Because she knew I couldn't even buy food, man. During those times, I remember I would look in the trash cans just to see if there were any leftovers so I could eat it. I was freaking starving, man. The memory isn't fresh, but I'll never forget this moment. It crushed me as a man. So she gets off work and she's like, are you hungry? I said, yeah. What do you want? And I said, I don't care. Like, just whatever. And so she went to this burger spot that was down the street from the warehouse, and she brought me food, and I couldn't even pay for it. And I know it's tangible, it's money, it doesn't mean anything, but as a man, I was like, damn, like, come on. You know, I was losing weight, I was getting skinny. Had no money, couldn't even take her on dates so that she could get all dolled up and pretty. And she just saw me with greasy hair, messed up skin, like freaking acne everywhere, oily skin. Didn't bathe, haven't bathed yet. I'm sleeping on the couch, and she would just lay with me on the couch, and we'd watch a movie on this exact computer. And She'd bring me food and we'll talk. And I was just so angry that instead of like saying thank you, like, oh my gosh, you would sleep with me under a bridge if it came to it, wouldn't you? Instead of acknowledging that, what I did was I got pissed off like at everything she did. I didn't like everything. Anyways, so that relationship was awful because I destroyed her. And she, like, I'm not gonna lie, she was perfect. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I try to look back and identify flaws. She had none. Now, obviously, like, physical flaws are different, right? She wasn't like a freaking AI generated human being with like absolutely no physical flaws. But man, like, dude, she was amazing. Oh well, there is one flaw. She'd spend the night sometimes, and she goes to the gym, man. Like this woman had a knocking body. Her freaking legs and her glutes had so much muscle and mass on them that it exerted so much body heat that I'm like, damn, baby, it's freaking hot up in here. Had to turn the fan on, had to open the window. I'm like, damn. I'm like, shoot, I had to take the covers off. She's like, I don't feel hot. It's because it's you heating up the room. I guess that's the only flaw. All that to say, the first relationship, super submissive, young, little immature, big ball of sunshine, and I couldn't tame my desire for more. I wanted more women. I wanted more this. I wanted more that. So she wasn't enough. Even though like I actually could have helped her because she would have just adapted. She would have adopted some of my frameworks, my mind, my mindset. And she would have naturally just became the intelligent woman that I kind of wanted her to be because she was constantly exposed to me. But I just had, during that time, I just had so many women that wanted me that I was like, why should I bother training you? Or not even training you, why should I bother being a partner and a mentor to you? I'll go choose her. I couldn't tame my desire for more with the first one. Second one, literally the same thing, submissive, did everything for me. Ball of sunshine, super patient, like kind, empathetic. Like the definition of a divine feminine woman was her. Smart too, man. Smart. Held her own. Confident. Goofy, man. Which is beautiful because she's mature, confident, and there'll be moments where she'll just do something super goofy and I'll just look at her like, you child. It's just like that was the most beautiful thing. And at that time, the only excuse I have for my behaviors was I had no freaking money, and it made me so angry that I couldn't control my emotions. And so similar to the first girl, I couldn't tame my desire for more women. This one, I couldn't tame my emotions. So pain manifested itself into anger and judgment. And my way or the highway. If you're not gonna do what I say, well, get out of here. I don't want you. Like, awful, man. So here are the lessons, and hopefully this will help some of you. Gentlemen, first and foremost, we are creatures that enjoy tangible things. We like things that we can see, that we can touch, that we can make. We like buildings, we like cars, we like money, we like women. A man is not a man that sleeps with hundreds and hundreds of women, a plethora of women. That's not a man, that's a boy. Because it's evident that you don't have the ability to tame your freaking sexual desire because you're weak. And so you're a slave to your desires, your sexual impulses. You're a slave to it. What a man is a sacrificial human, a selfless human. We get taught that a man is just pure brute force aggression and just freaking primal, carnal, and animalistic. No, that's not just what a man is. We should have that. We should be able to be crazy, animalistic, primal, destructive. I can freaking murder and kill you. If you touch me, don't try me. We should have that. but that should be under our control. A man is that, but gentle. Like, he has the ability to annihilate the earth and he wouldn't step on an ant or a fly. That's a man. He keeps his sword sheathed. Like, he does not want to use his sword. He keeps it sheathed. That's a man. A man understands emotions, man. Why? Your partner is going to be emotional. Every woman is. And if you ever meet a woman that isn't emotional, they either been, one, through so much trauma that they just refuse to ever feel again because they're like, this is too much, I don't want to feel, so they turn cold. Or two, they're lying to themselves. Because every human feels. Feeling is the secret. Feeling is the point of the human experience. Imagine we experience all the magic in life and we feel nothing. We're numb. We're dual. That's nihilistic, hopeless, and that's very sad. And I've been there. It's a very sad existence indeed. Extremely. Gentlemen, it's more than how many women you have and how attractive you are. It's your ability to control yourself at all times. Because let's say you're out. Let's say you're out and about, yes? And let's say a man does something that angers you and you don't know how to control yourself. You just put your wife or your woman's life at risk because you can't just freaking swallow your pride. You need to understand your emotions, man. You need to understand that you are three parts. What you do, what you feel, how you think. Your intelligence, your connectivity to all things, and your action. That trinity makes a whole man. And I recommend the same book over and over and over because it's a book that changed my life. Like, you have no idea. It's called King, Warrior, Magician, Lover by Robert L. Moore. Dude, that book changed my freaking life. You have no idea. It taught me how to be a full and complete man. It's one of the best books I've read my entire life, and I always recommend it. It's 160 pages, short. It's $9 on Amazon. King, Warrior, Magician, Lover. Like, that book will show you, are you underdeveloped in your thinking aspect? Are you underdeveloped in your love, your connectivity? Are you underdeveloped in your warrior, your action? Do you know what it means to be a king? Like, and it's not a difficult book to grasp. You know, I know sometimes, like, I enjoy reading very abstract concepts and books that kind of dense. It's not the case with this book. It's very easy to grasp, like extremely, trust me, extremely easy to grasp. And so, gentlemen, read that book, man. It'll help you. And perhaps one day I'll do a video and I'll break down the contents of that book because it's that good. I would make an entire video just for that book. But gentlemen, especially all my young men out there, it's not about the car you drive, man. It's not about the clothes you wear. Yes, it's good to present yourself in a very respectable manner, but dude, it's more than that. It's not the designer. It's not the freaking car emblem. It's not your career. A woman doesn't care about that. And if a woman does care about that, hey man, you probably shouldn't be dating her anyways. Because she's mindless and lost. If she cares more about a car emblem than your heart, and she cares about your notoriety and how much fame and clout you have, other than instead of your intelligence, you should probably get away from a woman like that. That's a girl. That's a lost, mindless little girl. What it really is, gentlemen, is your ability to take action. It's your courage. It's your strength, your bravery. You know why? A woman will depend on you if she can see that you are strong, courageous, and brave. But you have that under control to where it won't scare her if she ever does something wrong. Dude, she will submit. Like, if you can show her that she can trust you, she will submit. So you have to be strong, brave, courageous. If an intruder breaks in the house, you die for her. Surrender everything for her. Give it all up for her. Suffer for her. Be ready for death. Courage, bravery, strength, brute force, and have that under control, man. Don't let that escalate to where one day she does make a mistake, because we're all human. We all make mistakes. If she makes a mistake and says the wrong thing, it's your job to control that, because last thing you want is to scare her and raise your voice at her to where she feels like she can never open her mouth again. No, don't do that. If you get angered, breathe and say, hey, you said something right now that made me feel a little upset. We can either speak about it now, but I'm afraid if we speak about it now, I may be a little emotional, and so will you. So I don't think we would communicate logically. And so the second option is maybe let's do something for 30 minutes. I'll get out the house and I'll come right back. We'll calm ourselves down and then we'll talk about it. Like, that's how you communicate, man. More than that, gentlemen, you don't keep everything inside. Even though I believe we should, but we no, don't do it. Don't keep everything inside. And the reason is, well, I say we should, me, Thompson, I think we should, because we just don't want to burden our woman, that's all. Like, ladies, you have no idea how we see you. You want to know why some of us just want you to stay at home and cook and clean? You think we're some misogynist, anti-feminist? No, like, you're so freaking precious to us. In this cold, cold world that yields nothing, even though we sweat, we bleed, and we suffer, when we come home and we look at you, like, that's all we ever need. We'll come home from a long day and we're just ready to die. We're hopeless. We don't even want to live anymore. And here you guys go. Here, ladies, here you come. Hey, baby, how was work? Are you hungry? You want to eat food? You want some food? You want me to cook for you? Yes, I would love that. Please. Like, what? A lot of men want stay-at-home wives, not because we're insecure. We don't want the world to hurt you like it hurt us. We'll never let that happen. You're too damn precious. I'll be damned if I let the world hurt my woman. Like, I'll bear that burden. Stay here where it's safe, please. Right here at home. Here's my credit card, you know? So, gentlemen, if you know how to control that, you can be very compassionate and you can communicate with your ladies. And you won't react off impulse or emotion. A man is not a man that reacts off emotion. A man is a man that logically breaks it down and acts according to logic. The best move on the chessboard, not, oh, I feel angry, so I'm going to act how I feel. That's not right. That's not a man. You must know what to do. But you also have to understand that you need to communicate with her and let her know what's going on. It's not going to burden her, but it lets her know, like, he trusts me enough to be vulnerable. And she'll admire you for that. It's not a burden on her, I promise. A real woman can take that. They won't be, oh my gosh, are you complaining to me and venting? Well, hey, you're a man, just get over it. No, that's a girl. That's a prideful, egotistical, unaware little girl. A true woman will sit there, watch you cry and vent and say, I love you. You do so much. You're the man. You hear me? She'll take her acrylic nail, she'll grab your chin, look at me, and you'll go like this. She'll say, you're the man. I'll sleep with you under a bridge. Don't worry. I'll never leave you. Look at you, working so hard. I know life is tough. What can I do? You know I'm a warrior too, baby. I want to step up to the plate and help you. So stop stressing, because you have me. and I'm not going nowhere. Build a blueprint. Think of a plan, and I'm gonna execute with you. Like, that's a woman right there. And I promise you, any woman of that caliber, man, they want you to let them in, because they want to help. And sometimes, gentlemen, it's like, we get it. It's not that they can help, because we already know the answers, but still, it's selfless. If you don't open up, you're selfish. They require that. They need you to open up. They want to know. Women are emotional creatures, man. So open up, speak to them, tell them. Be strong, competent, capable, dangerous, able to annihilate the world, control that. Learn your emotions, become intelligent too, because you need to guide her. One day she's gonna ask for advice. What should I do, baby? And you can't just say, I don't know. You need to say, well, based on that, boom, 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 boom. Well, what do you think about this? And present to her this coherent totality. Like, you gotta be intelligent, man. That'll help her grow. Don't you want your woman intelligent? And so it's your job to be intelligent, because she is sponging you. Like, everything that you do, your actions, your speech, how you move, she's watching, and she will be a copy and paste version of you, but female version. Seriously. And so be careful, man. Like, don't do anything stupid. Ladies, men need so little, and we get nothing. This world is tough on us. Like, it beats us down to the core. You know what I mean? Here go my boy. What's up, homie? That the world beats us down to our core, man. Like, bad.
Second, G, my bad.
You say what?
You got a second?
What's up? What you need?
My bad. Maximus.
What's up, man?
This is Thompson.
What's up? Yeah, high five. I'm your friend's daddy. Too slow, man. You see? That's how I know he hasn't been training you, man. You gotta go faster. Faster. You gotta go like that. Like, come press it at me. Oh, you almost got it. You're too slow, man. That's cheating. My hand wasn't up. One more. That's how you do it. What's your name? What's your name?
Tell him your name.
I'm Thompson. That's a big word. You can just call me T. Can you remember T? Yeah, you can. Shake your head like this. Go like this. You're gonna break my finger, Maximus. Alright, you little bro. We'll play it later, okay? I gotta film a video.
Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna cut that part out, man. I'm just gonna let it run. No, you good, man. You good. Ladies, we as men, we don't need a lot. And we get so little. You have no idea. The world beats us down to the grave, our core. Like, all we need is someone that's not gonna judge us, that truly cares about us, and someone that understands. Like, we don't need anything else. Nothing. That's all we want. For someone to look at us with no judgment, say, I get it. For someone to look at us and say, I love you, because I get it. And for someone to freaking say, I'll never leave you. Look at you, you're so strong. Like, that's all we want. We don't need anything else. We don't want anything else. Ladies, it's not about being submissive and doing this and about how you dress, and those are so micro. You have no idea. Like, that's so micro. Yeah, it plays a role, but my gosh, ladies, if you can just be selfless and sacrificial, like, that's all we need. Because when we get home from a long day, you're what gives us peace. And so, for crying out loud, if you take this the wrong way, sorry, don't know how else to put it. For crying out loud, when your dude comes home after a long day, don't open your freaking mouth and piss him off. He's gonna leave. He's gonna say, oh, here I go. Here she goes. And he's gonna leave. You know why? We don't expect that from you. Like, we expect you to help us. We bear the weight of the world just to try to take care of you. And so when the world's destroyed us, we depend on you to take care of us. You heal us. After a long day, we lay down and we come home, we lay down on your stomach and you rub our heads and you tell us everything will be okay, and we actually believe it. We're like, maybe it will be okay, as long as you're by my side. Gentlemen, there's no love that a brother can give you that's like that, man. Trust me. There's no brotherhood that can compare to the love of a woman. I promise. There's none. So ladies, control your emotions. Like, I know you're emotional creatures, ladies, but you need to control that as well. Because men, we're logical. We're structured, right? The Tao is yin and yang. You have the masculine order and structure, then the feminine chaos. Even if you pull from the Bible, right? It was man that was given structure by God. Eve was created by extracting a rib from the man. So you can consider Eve a sub-personality. What's the opposite of structure, right? We have Adam. Hey, and God goes, hey, abide by these rules. I'm going to give you a little wiggle room, but abide. And Adam says, okay, I shall. What is the opposite of I will? I will not. What is the opposite of structure and order? Chaos. And that's why the snake tempted Eve. The snake wasn't going to go to Adam. Adam would have been like, no. That's why the snake approached Eve. And guess what? That's why Adam listened to Eve. Because, ladies, we can bear the weight of the world, bullet shots, stab wounds, and you are our only weakness. We'll die for you. Sometimes we'll even choose you over our own brother. Like, that's freaking... Ladies, like, understand how powerful that is. If we love you that much, sometimes we'll believe you over our own brother. Like, that's freaking tough, ladies. Like, and you have that. Don't mistreat that and don't abuse that power. Be there for your dude and be gentle. Don't piss him off. He's already pissed off. He's trying to take care of you. That's why he's angry all the time. Why is he so serious? He's trying to find a way to make sure that you're gonna be okay. He's working hard trying to take care of the future family you guys are gonna have one day, man. Don't piss him off. Don't be insecure. If your dude is all about you, and there's a stack of evidence that he will never betray never betray you, like, stop being freaking insecure and always on his head. Don't talk to her. You better not talk to her. Like, shut up. Like, you just piss him off more, and he has to deal with more. You want to do that for him? Piss him off more? I thought you loved him. How about you control your freaking insecurity and you just say, my man would never. I trust him. I don't even got to be on his neck. I love him. Like, that's controlling your emotional side, women. Right? If you do that, you'll notice how much we want to communicate. If a man never wants to communicate with you, ladies, it's because you're showing him that you're way too chaotic and you're emotional. And that's why we don't want to communicate with that. We're like, okay, you're emotional right now and you're not going to understand anything I'm saying. Right? I'm telling you, man. Ladies, you have to have a warrior in you as well. But that doesn't mean pride. You need to have resiliency. If one day all hell breaks loose and your man needs to devise a plan and you have to quit your job and you both have to execute, come together as one, be entrepreneurs and try to make something happen, you better step up to that. You better say, baby, I'm not afraid of nothing. I'll die for you. I'll live with you under a bridge. Let's go. What do you need me to do? Like, that's what? But don't let that escalate to where you become prideful and you don't know how to come back to your feminine. Because it's your feminine that gives us men hope. It's so beautiful. And so if you ever hear a man that's like, oh, I don't want a masculine woman, it's not that we're insecure. It's weird. Ladies, do you want a feminine man? Or a feminine man? No, you don't. You don't. Why? Why? Are you anti-feminine man or something? No, it's just weird, right? It's just weird. Something about it doesn't sit right. And so a woman that's prideful and goes, oh, I got my own. I can do it on my own. I got this, I got that. I don't need no man. It's like, oh, Lord, here we go again. And I get it, right? Ladies, sometimes you've trusted a man with so much to where that man betrayed you and you have no choice but to adopt that framework. I get it. But when the proper man comes, like, you better know how to calm that down. But still have strength. Because you need to hold the house down while he's not there. So have strength, courage. Emotions, embody it, ladies. It's who you are that makes us so attracted to you. It's your emotion. But don't be emotional. Have emotion. Don't be emotional all the time. Sometimes it's cool, but sometimes it's annoying. Sometimes we need you to be logical, not emotional. Otherwise, we can't speak to you and we feel like you don't get it. You know what I mean? So emotions, control it, tame it. Tame it. Just understand it's who you are, ladies. You're basically all emotional. It's very chaotic. And if you can control that, you will develop a strength that destroys the world with beauty. It's phenomenal. And then intelligence, ladies. If your man is more intelligent, submit and adapt. Trust him to lead and guide. I understand, ladies, I get it. Your guard is up because you've been hurt before. Your guard is up because you don't know if there's a capable man out there. I get it. But the truth is there are capable men. And you need to have discernment and see the type of men that are like, oh, I would trust him with my life. And when that man comes, and in your head you're like, I would trust him with my life, you need to retract from that masculine. Let him embody it, and you have to be completely in your feminine. Care for him. Rub his head. Baby him like a little boy. Do you know why we love feminine women that care for us? Because at one point, every man was a boy. And at one point, every boy remembers the love that his mother gives him. It's the motherly, affectionate, patient, non-judgmental, unconditional love. It's not, hey, I'll do this if you do that. No, I'll do this no matter what, because I love you. That's the motherly love that we crave in a woman. We don't want you to be our mothers, but we like to see that you can be selfless. We like to see that you can sacrifice for us, just how our mothers did. Don't baby us. We don't need that, but show me that you can embody the same love that my mother gave me. That selfless, sacrificial love, right? But you're my partner now, and so it's both of us. All that to say, sorry for the interruption earlier. You know I like to do these videos raw. All that to say, gentlemen, your woman depends on you. She trusts you to lead. She watches you and she learns every day. She admires your intelligence. She watches and pays attention to the actions. And she craves your emotions. So it's time to perfect yourself. Gentlemen, trust me. King, warrior, magician, lover. If that book doesn't change your life, you can direct message me and I will figure something out. King, warrior, magician, lover, gentlemen. 160 pages. You'll be done in 2 days. It changed my life. It showed me how inferior I was. I was still a boy, and to a degree, I still am. I'm still working on being a man. And you'll have the same revelation, I promise. Ladies, I recommend you read the book as well. It'll help you see what a boy and a man is. Ladies, a man is not age. How many of you ladies get with a man that's 10 years older because you're like, oh, he got a nice car, a career, he's put together, he's a grown man, got his own place, and he ends up being a damn narcissist and emotionally destroying you. Hands up. I think everyone's hands. Ladies, all your hands should be up, right? Because it's not age, it's psychological development. Remember, a man is what he does, how he thinks, and how he feels. Remember that. It's more than just it's not one dimensional, okay? Always remember that. And so the key takeaway here, if you guys can learn from my mistakes, is I was a narcissist, and I believe that there are two kinds of narcissists. To a degree, everyone's a narcissist. A narcissist is someone who exists within their own self paradigm, so much so that, well, there's a spectrum, right? But all of us are selfish to a degree. We wake up, think about our lives, go to sleep, think about us. We want to find ways to make us happy. It's me, 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 me. And so that's borderline narcissism, but it's a spectrum. I believe that there are some narcissists that exist within the self paradigm, and they're so deeply engraved in it that they don't even think they're the problem. They think the world is the problem, and I'm not gonna lie, those people are kind of hopeless. And by the grace of God, I just happened to be a narcissist that had the ability to reflect and acknowledge that. And oh, believe me, when I acknowledged that, I called both of my past relationships, and I apologize deeply, because I think a man should do that. If you're wrong, own it and apologize. I was a narcissist, man, and it emotionally destroyed these ladies. And gentlemen, you shouldn't do that. You're not a man because you have a good woman and you're going out finding some more tail to chase and bringing another woman home and betraying that loyalty and love. If you do that, you create the type of women that say, I don't need no man. I'll never depend on a man. I got my own. Gentlemen, if you hate those type of women, you're creating them by destroying that trust because of your own inadequacy. So control yourself. Pull yourself together, for crying out loud. Ladies, if you have been broken and you have that framework, you gotta know what a man is. And it's not his car, how much money he makes. It's something else. It's this. Read the book. Ladies and gentlemen, I recommend you both to read it. It'll transform your life, I guarantee you. Ladies, always remember that we do everything for you and you are our only weakness. Don't manipulate that. We'll die for you. So please, for crying out loud, trust us. But give your trust to a capable man. If you have a capable man and you give him a hard time, you're the problem. Like you're the problem, and you're the reason why the relationship's gonna end. I guarantee you. Especially if you know he's a good man. All because you're insecure, because you hate how you look in the mirror, and you're afraid that he'll find a better woman. Like pull your shit together. You got with him for a reason. He's a good man. You're fine. And gentlemen, control your damn desires. I get it, man. I'm a man. Sometimes when a woman wants us and she looks good, we're like, we start daydreaming like, what if? Hey, you can daydream, you can have those thoughts, sure. Gentlemen, don't act. Don't hurt a woman like that, man. Treat a woman how you want a man to treat your daughter one day, gentlemen. Would you want another man to break your daughter's heart, cheat on her, call her this, call her that? No, you would want another man to treat your daughter like a princess, and so treat a woman like that. Ladies, treat a man how you want another woman to treat your son one day. Ladies, imagine you have a son, and he is in a relationship, and his freaking girlfriend is just yap, hard time, insecure. You better not be with her, you better not be with her. Boom, 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 and just a bunch of nonsense. Ladies, do you want your son to be treated like that? Watching your son go out, hustle, hard work, trying to bring home food to feed his woman, and his woman just no. And so treat your partner how you want another woman to treat your son one day, another girl, you know? And treat each other how we want the world to treat our children, and we'll be just fine. Hopefully, you were able to take something from that video. Thanks for listening. Sorry for the commercial break there. Something fun to. I'm not gonna cut it. It's something fun. Take care of yourself. Talk soon.